right, good morning. Good morning. It's 2:56 a.m. I'm on my way to the gym right now. Just a quick word of advice. And I think this is going to help and you know, I plan on sending this off to my son because I noticed when I went out there to visit him when he had his graduation from basic military training, that there was something else that was getting ready to crop up in his life, and it was credit. When you go into the military, what they do is they give you a credit card, and they say, we want you to build credit. Keep something in mind. Nobody's going to be able to teach your kids how to be the most productive people in this world than you. The military has a lot of resources that they can use to train them to be good soldiers. There's a lot of resources that they can use to train them to be upstanding individuals with integrity and class. But there's a limit to where they can go and what they can teach, because ultimately what they have to give is such a big boxed regimen. It's not specifically catered to the person, so it's just a general overview. So when it comes to being a parent, and I have to sit back and say, well, I appreciate what the military's given you, but let me give you another something. And this is going to come from my experience and the experience that's came or happened inside of this family line. So let's do this, because this is going to be more catered to you versus, the box form. And so when they're offering them these credit cards and they're saying, we want you to develop credit, because a lot of the people in the military are fairly new. They look, very young, 18, 19, 20 years old. But I would just advise him to have in his mind a certain amount of money that you're not willing to make an irrational quick decision on. For me, anything that's around $400 is typically something that I have to give 24-hour thought to and prayer to. If after 24 hours and consulting with, whether it be my wife or, depending on how big the purchase is, some other person that I trust to consult with, if at the end of that 24 hours the need is still there to buy it, then I would have gathered enough information to make that decision. If at the end of the 24 hours you'll realize, once you give yourself that space between what you thought you needed or wanted and then some time to actually consider it, sometimes you didn't need or want it, and that feeling goes away. But if I had to advise him, which I will, is one, give yourself 24 hours, and a certain amount of money has to be involved for you to say, I need 24 hours before I make a purchase, and I need to consult at least 1 to 2 people. The second thing I would advise him is don't buy anything unless you have cash. It's real easy to get a credit card and to put it on credit and to say, let's do it. But that's also a very easy way to find yourself in financial debt. If you don't have the cash, don't buy it. Develop a plan to come up with enough money to pay for it cash. You never know what kind of deal you might get. Our job and our obligation as parents, as friends, as family members, as elders, as people who have, already made the mistakes in life, is to go back and to give the people behind us the benefit of the knowledge to make better decisions moving forward. To make a smarter decision moving forward, in order to avoid some of the pits and the pitfalls that come along with success and failure.